Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of This Week in the World of Football. This is episode number 282 for February 7th, 2023. I'm your host, Randy Snow. On today's show, the Pro Bowl games were less than enjoyable, and Tom Brady signs a new contract with Fox Sports. In honor of Black History Month, this week's history lesson is a profile of Bob Mann, the first African American player on not one, but two NFL franchises. But I'm not here by myself. Across the table from me, as always, is my son Adam.
Wow, take 3 was the
It
charm.
sure was. I don't know what
I
I
wanted to
kept
keep in
fumbling
the
over
first 2
everything.
takes, but he wouldn't let me.
Oh, they were bad.
They were not great. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you straight up, straight to your face. Those were not good. If you were about to screw it up again, I would have started the show. Everybody, just so you know, Randy's a little off his game today, clearly. So if I have to step in, just know that's why.
Yeah, gee, thanks, son.
You're very welcome. Why?
We-
What? You sound like you just woke up from a nap. To be honest with you.
I can't imagine that happening.
It's because he did wake up from a nap. He's like, oh yeah, I have to podcast today.
We come to you each week from the fabulous World of Football Man Cave, located right here in the center of the football world, Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're here to promote the game of football in all its many forms, past, present, and future. Our goal is to educate, inform, and entertain our listeners with the glorious buffet that is the world of football. All this while keeping a close eye on the rich history of the game. Thanks for checking out our podcast. We'd love to get your feedback on one of our many platforms: Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, where we post the entire audio portion of this show as well as other selected videos. We're also on Amazon Music, so you can simply ask your Alexa or Siri device to play the World of Football podcast. So let's begin today's show with Adam and the World of Football scoreboard.
That's right, a weird scoreboard this week because it wasn't an actual football game this week, ladies and gentlemen. No, it was the Pro Bowl games. That's right, this weird Frankenstein Olympics that the NFL has put together to replace the Pro Bowl game, which I loved growing up.
Yes, I did too.
But don't worry, I have some thoughts on how we could change this. Maybe we should put that in a video down the line. But the NFL Olympics starts to have a real good ring to it. But anyway, so they had all these different events, throughout the weekend. They got rid of the tackle football game that we were accustomed to seeing, and we were very curious going into this weekend. How is this all going to look? Well, not as bad as it could have been, but still not great. So, there were several different events they did throughout the weekend. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch anything from, I don't even know what they did, Friday, Saturday. I mainly just watched the 3-hour broadcast on Sunday, which consisted of 3 flag football games, kick-tack-toe, which was pre-recorded, it looked like. Something called Move the Chains, which was actually, I think, one of their best events. Or, well, no, never mind. Move the Chains was awful. I'm thinking a Gridiron Gauntlet was the one I really liked. Why they didn't do the precision passing drill during the game, during...
They did that during the week.
Yeah, during the week. Why
I
they
caught a
didn't
little bit of that here and there.
See, I love
I
the
felt that
precision
worked.
passing, but why you don't do that if you're going to do it on Sunday in front of that stadium, in front of everybody. That's more entertaining to me. The longest drive and the dodgeball, and then even like a series of their version of the dunk contest, which was the best catch contest. So a mixed bag of a lot of different stuff. And the points would accumulate through these various competitions and the first 2 flag football games, and they were all added together so that by the time we got to the third and final flag football game, we had our score, which had the AFC leading 21-15. And then in that third game, the NFC pulled out the comeback and defeated the AFC 35-33 to win the 2023 Pro Bowl games. Eli Manning, the coach of the NFC, getting dumped on with Gatorade, while Peyton Manning was left at the end of the game yelling at a young referee that I'm pretty sure isn't really a referee.
Yeah, he was upset because he didn't think you were able to take a knee, and the referee told the guy, "Yes, you can take a knee and run out the clock." And Peyton was kind of livid that no, he can't do that. He's supposed to run a play. There's no taking a knee, and the referee just was shaking his head at him like, "No, I'm going to allow it."
Yeah,
So I don't know who was right.
Who knows? It was a bit of a mess. I mean, there was still some great highlights from everything. I'll give it that much. Jared Goff had a great threading the needle pass. He also had a very ugly kind of sack.
Yeah.
Um, there was a play where the AFC ran like it wasn't even a reverse, but it was Tyreek Hill. No, it was Stephon Diggs was throwing a pass. Like they
Oh
did
yeah.
some of that option stuff.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs went to throw a pass, and it was really bad. He was trying to do a no look to I forget who the quarterback was at the time.
Yeah. I
But
don't remember.
it got tipped and intercepted by his brother on the NFC, and that was actually kind of cool that his brother is the one who intercepted it and returned it. But I mean, I don't know. I wasn't crazy about this. The halftime show was forgettable. I'm not even going to name
Oh
who
my
those guys
gosh.
were. I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
One hit song, and we had to listen to them for 20 minutes. Um, but all in all, I'm going to say my verdict is let's just scrap this thing. It's dead. It's done.
This
It's oh,
this
and
was like something you would see on Nickelodeon. This should have been a Nickelodeon
a
special.
lot of
You
tweets about
know,
that.
there could have been, they could have slimed this, and players could have been slimed when they scored a touchdown. The way they do it with the graphics. I'm not saying actual slime, but
They
you
could have
know,
still actually slimed him. At this point, this is more aimed at kids. Like I as
yes,
like other than some of the cool like the Gridiron Gauntlet or whatever
Mm.
that was fun.
Like
Seeing
a
a lot of the
relay
speed.
thing.
They might as well just turn this into the NFL style Olympics. Like, give me your who's the fastest player, from each
Yeah.
conference or each division, whatever. Run it like the Olympics. If you want to still do the cumulative points thing, cool, whatever. And end in the flag football game, maybe. But let's get around it. This is not the same thing anymore. It's a totally different thing. I'm not crazy about it. Even though I sat there and hate watched it for about 3 hours.
You did. You sat there a lot longer than I thought you would. I
Yeah.
I sat there for
We
most of the
both
time too,
sat there longer than we
but I
thought we
wasn't really
would.
paying attention. So it wasn't
It was one of
until
those things you can easily just get on your phone and,
yeah.
scroll and just watch all the hateful comments on Twitter at the same time.
Well, see, when this was going on for 3 hours, I wasn't really paying attention. They were talking about, how this event was worth 3 points and this event was worth 3 points to the conference and this and that. And I didn't really understand it until I looked it up the next day in an article and they had it all broke down. And then it kind of made sense. So I'm like, oh, that's what was going on yesterday. It was so forgettable that I wasn't
You
even
weren't
paying
even paying attention.
attention.
I got
Oh
that
my
just
gosh.
watching it, but I was just not crazy about like why aren't all these events just being played there live in the Pro Bowl? Like they had
Yeah.
pre-recorded crap, and I'm like, why? Like Kick Tack Toe was fun. They kind of tweaked that enough to where I was like, I don't like this now. Like they used three members of the special teams unit, the punter, the long
Right.
snapper, and the kicker. I was like,
Right.
just use a kicker. But I get it. Like you got all these guys on Pro Bowl rosters. Like what are they supposed to do? Like they tried to incorporate everybody as best they could. But I just think it was a big misfire. I think these guys should be honored. They were the best players for the most part. I mean, there's Pro Bowlers that weren't there because they're playing in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
There's got to be a way to honor all the guys, even when they're not there, in person to participate. So they got to tweak this again. Like I'm saying, I think they should go to the NFL Olympics. Scrap this the flag football game. That was just whatever. But I'd rather see the gridiron gauntlet or whatever. I'd love to see Penei Sewell run through another styrofoam wall or whatever that was. I'd love to see Amon Ra maybe doing the best catch contest again. And how boring was that to just see two guys, one of them who couldn't catch anything and
Right.
was staring at cheerleaders' behinds for
Uh-huh.
several of his attempts, while Amon Ra was actually trying to
Yeah.
be kind of entertaining.
That was great. That to me, that was one of the two highlights of this whole day was Amon Ra St. Brown putting on a show, making this best catch,
Yeah.
and jumping over Rory and catching a ball.
And hey, what a broadcast team. Nobody knew the Lions mascot name. They just saying the lion or the Lions mascot. Like, come on. All the mascots have names. You
Yeah,
can say them.
yeah.
It's fine.
But the other highlight for me was when it was during the kick tack toe when the Dallas kicker got up,
No,
tried to kick,
there
and
wasn't a Dallas kicker.
well, I thought that was the Cowboys kicker that
No,
missed it
they were
completely.
referencing him, like saying he was
Okay,
pulling a Matt
I thought
Marr.
that was him. See, that's how
No,
much I was paying attention.
clearly you weren't paying attention. No.
This was an awful weekend, or just an awful day of all this crap. Years ago, you don't remember this, but they used to
Uh,
have in the off season after the Super Bowl, ABC would run a show called the Superstars, and they would bring together athletes from all different sports: football players, baseball players, basketball players, and they would run them through. They did like track and field events. They did rowing boats, across a pond or something,
I mean,
and
I remember something vaguely like
yeah,
that, but
and that's maybe what the NFL should do is do something like that old Superstars competition where they're not just doing football events, which they're not. Obviously, they're doing dodgeball and the longest drive on a golf course. So I mean, they could do something else. But I think they should, even if they're going to keep doing this, I really think they should move it after the Super Bowl
Yeah.
so that the people in the Super Bowl can participate if they want to the week after.
Yeah, because I mean, no offense to like some of the guys who got knocked up to the or brought up to the Pro Bowl roster, like the backup quarterback for the Ravens. Somehow, I think I won't say he didn't deserve to be put on the Pro Bowl roster, but I'm pretty sure the fan vote was kind of uh, more of a joke on him. No offense to him, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I think that was a lot of people just saying, "Hey, let's just vote for the Ravens backup quarterback just cause," and he got it. So I don't know. I mean, there is an element of I like to have the fan vote, but the fan vote, look what it just did, and then also now it's like okay, like well, I thought Jared Goff should have been one of the 3 NFC Pro Bowlers anyway. Um, him being the next guy called up is fine, but I mean, wouldn't you rather see a Jalen Hurts and a Patrick Mahomes there doing all this stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for the NFL that they're in the Super Bowl against each other, but come on, if you're going to do this and it's not going to be contact football, play it the week after the Super Bowl or a couple weeks after the Super Bowl. Let everything kind of die down. And then guess what? You ramp up to some fun, give these players a nice vacation. All this charity stuff could be involved. The NFL Olympics, I'm telling you, it'll be a big hit. I want to see track and field. I want to see, more of this gridiron gauntlet, like relay races. I want to see more of the precision passing kind of take a forefront. Get all the top 5 quarterbacks from each conference out there and just have a big old tournament. Like who's gonna do it the best? And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure there's different stuff. Give them a freaking wrestling belt, for each of those, and every year have the belt on the line so that even if the guy didn't make the Pro Bowl the next year, he goes and at least one guy gets to defend his title from the previous year. I think that would be fun, but I don't know. Like for me, I don't think the product was good for people watching, but I think for the players, it was probably a lot more fun than
Yeah. And that stadium was pretty well packed
it looks
too.
well.
And I thought, well, are these people going to be asking for their money back when they leave this place? Because this was a travesty. The NFL should be embarrassed that they put on this shenanigans.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another overhaul of this year. They're trying to save this game, but I'm telling you, if you're not going to do the NFL Olympics, just bury it. Let's
Not
just move on from it.
not just the superstars, but years ago there was also another show called Almost Anything Goes, and they had these contestants going through a lot of different obstacle courses and stuff like that. Even that would be better than what we've got now. So I don't know. I hated everything about this. Um, I don't know how to fix it, but it's just bad. Um,
The way you fix it is you put a lot more money on the line and you actually have those guys go out and play a full tackle football game. That's how you fix it. But I get it. I'm all for player safety. I'm all about these guys not putting their bodies on the line for a exhibition game.
You mean like the XFL championship game in 2001, where only the winning team gets paid and the losing team gets nothing? And maybe in this case, they got to find their own way home because you only get a one-way ticket there, and you're on your own to
They're
find your way home.
millionaires. I'm pretty sure that most of these guys, all they have to do is call an Uber and they'll be
I
fine.
know.
But I don't know. I'm gonna miss the tackle football. I miss being able to see all these all stars actually hit each other. Actually play maybe don't even do a full 15-minute quarters. Do like 8-minute quarters, like
Sure.
Madden style. Like you can shorten the game up.
Yep.
Maybe you can like accelerate the game clock or something so that they're not out there the whole time. I don't know. There's got to be some other things they could do, but I think not having them actually hitting each other. I get it, and you don't want to hurt anybody or have anybody like go down with a year-long knee injury for a Pro Bowl game. I get it, but I don't know. There's got to be something better.
Yeah. Okay. There were actually a couple of college all-star games where they were playing actual football.
Well, yeah, these
But
kids are trying to make NFL rosters
Yeah.
now.
But to tell you the truth, I didn't watch either one of these games either.
Well, we were out at dinner for one of these.
Yeah. Well, Thursday, it was the 98th annual East-West Shrine Game. I guess they call it the Shrine Bowl now, not the Shrine Game. But the West team defeated the East by the score of 12-3. And the big thing I took from this game is that former University of Michigan kicker and hopefully future Detroit Lions kicker Jake Moody single-footedly scored all 12 points for the West team. He had a pair of 51-yarders and a pair of 35-yarders. Man, we could use this guy in Detroit.
Draft him.
Absolutely. I've seen some mock drafts by some people that actually have Jake Moody being picked in the 7th round.
Draft him, Detroit.
I'd love it.
Give me my Detroit Lions Jake Moody jersey right now.
You know, we've been Prater was good when we had him, but since Jason Hansen, we haven't had a real consistent kicker. We need
Well, Prater
consistency.
was
This
after
guy could be
Hansen.
our kicker for the next 10 years or more.
40 years.
So that was the East West Shrine game, and then on Saturday there was the Senior Bowl, and it was the national team defeating the American team by the score of 27-10. Didn't see any of this game either. Didn't even see any highlights. I just looked up the score, and there you have it. That's this week's World of Football scoreboard.
Yeah, not much, but
Yep.
hey, next week we got
One game.
the big game at the end.
One game. And we might have a report from Greg James in Japan. There's
Oh, our
something
man from
called
Japan, huh?
it's called the Ocean Bowl. It's being played on the same day as the Super Bowl.
Guess
So
I better get working on that sound graphic. Man, I've been busy. Good Lord. We got, spoiler alert, everybody, I've been working on some World of Football stuff. It's,
we got a lot of stuff in the can, and it's time for you to
yeah, time for me to get to work.
get to work.
All you did was sit in front of a camera. Now I got to edit everything.
Well, that was your
You
idea.
and your forever talking during a
Oh,
video.
look who's talking, Mister I Talk Forever.
Yeah, but not on camera.
Oh, yes, you do.
Okay, that too, but
All right, let's move on to some NFL news. The big news this past week was Tom Brady will be joining Fox Sports. Not this year. He's going to take a year off, but he's going to be joining Fox Sports in the fall of 2024.
oh, just in time for the Lions to start their Super Bowl
Yep.
victory tour.
Yep. He reportedly signed now we all knew that he was going to Fox Sports. This was a couple of years ago. He had an agreement
It
where
was just last year. I
when
want to say he made
when he's
that.
done
Yeah.
playing, he was going to join Fox Sports or whatever. But reportedly, he's not talking about this. But somebody is saying that his contract is a 10-year contract worth $375 million, making him the highest paid analyst in sports television for a guy that's never done the
And
job.
I believe
before.
that's more than he made in his entire 20-something year NFL career.
Is it?
I saw some stats saying that he's making more money off this 10-year deal than a big chunk of his playing career.
But to make him the lead analyst or the top analyst on your network, and he's never done a game before, he could be terrible.
Hey, maybe they got it out on the contract. Maybe that number, that big old flashing number looks great, but maybe they get a year in and they can opt out. Like, oh, you weren't as good as we thought. Let's opt out.
You're too old to be an analyst.
You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. That is how that works.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. But what I can't imagine not hearing from Tom Brady for the next year. So he's going to be out there doing something.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be some scandal coming.
He's already a social media darling with all of his posts.
He's already posted one creepy picture of himself in his underwear
Yeah.
yesterday. Let's settle down.
Well, he's got to find a new wife.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Well,
That's what the
let's
next year's gonna be. He's gonna be the next Bachelor, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, there you go. What? No, that was it Brady or Roger? No, it was Brady. That was supposedly went off to shoot some TV show. Was it The Bachelor or
I doubt it.
Oh God, it was some show. I don't know. Maybe he'll be on Survivor. Who knows? Former Carolina Panthers head coach Matt Rule is suing the team, saying that he is owed almost $5 million in severance pay. It looks like an arbitrator will be deciding his case in the next couple of weeks. Rule is currently the head coach at Nebraska. I think I saw somewhere that he still had $34 million left on his contract that they owed him. And he was worried about another $5 million that severance pay or something.
Hey, get
I
your
don't
money.
know.
I mean,
don't know.
the team fired you prematurely. I mean,
Plus the
get your
contract
money.
that he signed with Nebraska. I don't know how much that's worth, but yeah, he's suing the team, trying to get an extra $5 million out of them. We'll see how that goes. In some USFL news, the full schedule was released today.
Hour by hour.
It started at 8 o'clock this morning, and every hour they released another team schedule. And the very first one was the Michigan Panthers. So, yeah, it was like 9 o'clock. I'm thinking to myself, I wonder when they're going to release those schedules today. And I looked, and it was already out. There it was. The Panthers' home schedule looks like this. On February 23rd, they actually have a road game at home against the Philadelphia Stars. So they'll be wearing their white uniforms at home there. But the rest of their home schedule, April 30th, they're going to be playing the New Jersey Generals. May 6th, they're going to be hosting the Memphis Showboats. May 13th, the Pittsburgh Maulers. May 20th, the Birmingham Stallions. And then June 18th, the Philadelphia Stars.
Yeah, so go online to the USFL.com, and I'm sure, or whatever the social medias you follow,
Yeah.
check out the full schedule. Sure to be some interesting games. I mean, I'm excited to go to Ford Field, whether it's a road or home game
Yeah.
for the Panthers. So
Yeah. I'm already looking at that New Jersey Generals game. That's going to be a 4 o'clock in the afternoon game on a Sunday. They've
well,
got some 7:30 games in the evening, prime time or whatever. They got one that's at 12:30. I forget which one that was. I didn't write down the times, but
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
yeah,
It's only a
yeah.
couple hour drive for us.
I definitely want to go to at least one game this year, and my preference would be the Generals and the Panthers. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, this article came through this
Actually, you
week.
you even missed another USFL bit of news. The Panthers, Jeff Fisher
Oh
left
yeah,
the Panthers this week, and
yep. They got a new
they
coach.
got a new coach whose name escapes me as I pull up the Instagram for the
Also on the
Panthers.
schedule releases, all the teams put out a special video. Who was the one that did the whole SpongeBob thing where he's driving his
His
boat?
boatmobile.
Yeah.
I can't tell you at the top of my head, but the new head coach of the Michigan Panthers, I can tell you, is Mike Nolan.
Hmm.
Will be the new Michigan Panthers head coach.
Okay.
And then I guess I'm gonna look up real quick the
Yeah, every team put out a video. Some were better than others. A couple of them were like video games.
3 of them are like video games. So the boating school was the Memphis Show Boats.
Ah,
She should have figured that one
that
out.
was good. That was a good one. Then there was another one that was based on the SpongeBob movie that had David Hasselhoff in it.
Yep, the New Orleans Breakers.
Yep. So, yeah, they're really cute and inventive. But yeah, that one from uh, the Maulers. No, not the Maulers. Who'd you say it was?
For which one?
The SpongeBob one.
The Show
The
Boats.
Showboats. Yes, that was the best. I checked out a little bit of all of them, but that one I watched the whole thing. It was good. Okay, flag football news, as if we haven't talked enough flag football already today. The state of New York is adding girls flag football to its high school sports state championships. This is the new soccer. Back in the 80s and the late 70s, it was all the kids were being introduced to soccer. Now it's all flag football, boys and girls, which is fine. For kids that age, it's non-contact. It gets you, to know the passing, the running. I don't know if you do much blocking in flag football, but I just
Not in
think it's
the
a good
Pro
thing.
Bowl, you don't.
Yeah.
Even though you got a center out there for some reason who
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
For kids, this is great. For $1 million NFL players, this is not good. But yes, for kids, I totally am behind flag football, girls and boys. And it's nice that the state of New York is now going to recognize that with a state championship. I think California did the same thing too.
Yeah.
So it's just becoming popular everywhere, and I like it. And so I hope we'll just be seeing it grow more and more from state to state. With the news last week that the Arena Football League is coming back, Arena Football TV on YouTube um, has announced that with the league coming back, Arena Football TV has made all of their content private for the time being, while any rights issues get worked out. They're not sure how the league is going to feel about them putting out all their games on their website. So hopefully, the new AFL will be fine with that.
Yeah. Or
That's
the AFL will just put out all those games, and we'll have to thank Arena Football TV for their years of service.
yes.
For
Keeping
doing the
things
Lord's
alive
work over there.
for the last 5 years. Yes.
So
Yeah, no, it's been great. Seeing a lot of games that I've been to, that we've been to,
Arena Bowls, yeah.
and all that. So yeah, it's great that somebody is keeping that alive on YouTube. Not every game, the quality of the game was that great. They were all like on VHS tapes probably, but still, seeing the players and the uniforms and the arenas and the fans that were just so excited to have arena football, and I just hope that when this league comes back, that excitement returns with it. I think it will.
I hope so. I mean,
On
we
my part, it will.
we definitely got some thoughts on this new Arena League, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of videos over the next year
Yeah.
trying to help guide this new Arena Football League back to its former glory.
When we had the Grand Rapids Rampage, we would go up there for games, and it was only an hour from our house. From our driveway to the parking lot of the Van Andel Arena was 1 hour for us, so that was great. But when the Rampage shut down, we started going to Cleveland. That's a 4-hour drive. We've been to Milwaukee for games, Green Bay for games. We've been all over the place. Even went to Albany, New York for a game a couple years ago. Columbus. Um, so yeah, we've been all over the place following arena football, and I'd be willing to do it again if we don't get a team in Michigan or
Yeah.
close to us here.
And even today, Anthony Rossi, one of the CEOs of Force One Capital, he's going to be the president slash owner of the new Arena Football League.
Mm.
His company, well, I responded to one of his tweets he put out today asking about telling me what is your fondest memory of watching the official Arena Football League over the years. And I just replied saying, Arena Bowl 15, Grand Rapids, Michigan, August 19th, 2001. Not just our team winning that whole thing. I was more about it was the smallest market, getting to host the title game made it that much more special. I hope going forward that they eliminate the neutral site championship games, home field advantage. Like I want them to go back to that. And that's something.
Yeah.
And then the F1 Sports and Entertainment responded to me saying, "This is awesome. The ownership group are all caps big University of Michigan fans."
Oh, cool.
So I'm hoping if they're out there listening, that they put a team in Michigan. Even if we have to settle on a Detroit team, I guess
Sure.
I could deal with it.
Yep.
Bring back the Grand Rapids Rampage. That's what I want.
Yes. That would be awesome.
We bleed crimson and silver, whatever our colors were at the time. It was like pewter also. Pewter was a color.
Yeah, red and pewter.
Oh, great color scheme.
Scarlet and pewter.
Yeah, great color scheme. Bring back my Rampage.
All right, moving on to today's birthday. Quarterback and Super Bowl champion Matthew freaking Stafford turns 35 years old today.
Man.
He played his college football at Georgia and was selected with the first overall pick in the 2009 NFL Draft by our beloved Detroit Lions after the team went 0-16 the year before. He played for the Lions from 2009 to 2020, broke our hearts when he left and signed with the LA Rams, where he's played there the last 2 years and won a Super Bowl in 2021. Good for him.
In his home stadium of LA.
Yes, in his home stadium. That was awesome.
I was just watching the highlights from the Rams Super Bowl last year because editing together our videos.
I got a DVD on that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm using that, using clips from that, and I watched the whole bit where he played the Lions last year, and I missed Matthew Stafford. But after this last season, not saying it was his fault because he got hurt this year.
Yes. Oh, that whole team got hurt this year.
That whole trade, that whole situation, and here we are about 2 years removed from that now.
Yep.
How important and how I think the Lions won this trade.
They did.
The Rams might have gotten a Super Bowl out of it.
They got a Super Bowl.
But it feels like the Lions have finally reconstructed their team in such a way that going into next season, I'm not afraid that they're going to lose 14 games.
Yeah. No, I have high hopes for next year.
I think everybody's drinking the blue Kool-Aid now. So
they've got 2 first-round picks.
Still 2 first rounds this year. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
If they trade some or move them up or what.
The sky's the limit for Detroit. I think they're going to do the right things. They've got the right people making the right decisions.
This whole ownership. I mean, I think Sheila Ford Hamp, and Brad Holmes, the general manager, Dan Campbell, the head coach. They've truly figured out, I think, how to get this ship turned around, and it's at least going in the right direction.
Yep. All right, let's move on to a few obituaries we've got this week. This is where we take a moment and honor those who've made the world of football a better place. The first one is Bobby Beathard, who worked in the NFL for 38 years, has passed away at the age of 86. Beathard started out as a scout with the Kansas City Chiefs in 1966. He also worked for the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. In 1978, he was hired as the general manager of the Washington Redskins, and he was also the general manager of the San Diego Chargers from 1990 to 1999. Beathard, who led his teams to 4 Super Bowl championships, was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a contributor in 2018.
Our next obituary is that of Sidney Thornton, who was a running back in the NFL and the United States Football League, has passed away at the age of 68. Thornton played college football at Northwest State and was selected in the second round of the 1977 NFL Draft by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played for the Steelers for 6 seasons from 1977 to 1982 and won 2 Super Bowls. He finished his playing career with the USFL's Oklahoma Outlaws in 1984.
Our next obituary is Gary Pettigrew, a defensive lineman in the NFL for 9 seasons. He has passed away at the age of 78. Pettigrew played college football at Stanford and was selected in the second round of the 1966 NFL Draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He was also selected in the sixth round of the 1966 American Football League Draft by the San Diego Chargers. He signed with the Eagles and played in Philadelphia from 1966 to 1974. He was traded to the New York Giants during the 1974 season, where he finished his playing career.
And our final obituary this week is that of Kay Vaughn, a lineman in the Canadian Football League for 13 seasons, has passed away at the age of 91. Vaughn played college football at Tulsa and was selected in the 12th round of the 1953 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Colts. However, he chose to sign with the CFL Ottawa Rough Riders and played for the team from 1953 to 1964. He won a Grey Cup title with Ottawa in 1960 and finished his playing career with the Montreal Alouettes in 1965. Vaughn was inducted into the University of Tulsa Hall of Fame in 1990.
All right, and now we're up to this week's history lesson, unless you've got any breaking news there.
No breaking news as of now.
Okay. Well, this is Black History Month, and we have different profiles all month long for that. And so this week, our profile is that of Bob Mann, the first black player on 2 different NFL teams. There have been a lot of firsts for black players in football history. The first black pro football player was Charles Follis in 1904. The first black player and coach in the NFL was Fritz Pollard in 1920 and 1921. The first modern-day black quarterback was Willie Thrower with the Chicago Bears in 1953. And the first to win a Super Bowl was Doug Williams in January of 1988. But one man became the first black player for not one, but 2 NFL franchises. Bob Mann was born in New Bern, North Carolina on April 8, 1924. He played college football at HBCU Hampton University in Virginia, but his father encouraged him to transfer to the University of Michigan in order to advance his football career. At Michigan, he played for Coach Fritz Chrysler and helped lead the team to an undefeated season in 1947. He signed as a free agent with the Detroit Lions in 1948, becoming the first black player on the team. He played end in Detroit for 2 seasons, in 1948 and 1949. During the 1949 season, he finished second in the league in catches with 66 and was also second in the league in receiving yards with 1,014. He was the first 1,000-yard receiver in Detroit Lions history. After the 1949 season, Mann was involved in a trade with the New York Yankees that brought quarterback Bobby Lane to Detroit. Mann was cut by the Yankees before the 1950 season began. Eventually, he signed as a free agent with the Green Bay Packers, where he became the first black player on the Packers team. During his 5 seasons with the Packers, from 1950 to 1954, Mann caught 109 passes for 1,629 yards, 17 touchdowns, and averaged an astonishing 14.9 yards per catch. He was inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame in 1988. After his football career was over, he went on to earn a law degree at the Detroit College of Law in 1970 and became a defense attorney in Detroit. Mann met his wife Vera while he was playing for the Lions. When they got married, she wanted to get him a wedding ring, but he refused. He loved wearing his University of Michigan ring, and he wore it until the day he died. Bob and Vera had 2 daughters who honored their father with their college selections. Marilyn attended Michigan, and Marjorie attended Hampton. Bob Mann died on October 21, 2006, in Detroit at the age of 82. He was posthumously inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame in 2016. Many black players can boast that they were the first to play for a particular team, but Bob Mann holds the distinction of being the first to play for 2 different franchises, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
The first of many great uh, Black History Month history lessons. A great tradition you have here on the podcast.
Yeah, I've known about this story for a while, but I really I had four of them set aside for this month, and I went with this one first because it did talk about the Lions. But we got some more coming up this month, and looking forward to putting these all together for the next
Yeah.
couple weeks. All right, so from here we're going to do our scroll back up here, our upcoming events calendar. This coming Sunday, February 12th,
Sunday.
Super Bowl 57 in Glendale, Arizona. You'll have to check out our picks video to see who we are picking for winners this week.
That'll go up in the next day or two.
Yep.
Man, I'm buried in videos.
It's your own fault. Saturday, February 12th, the XFL regular season begins.
Tune in for our XFL picks videos. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that.
Sunday, April 16th, the USFL regular season begins.
Tune in for our USFL picks videos. I'm going to die doing these videos.
And Thursday, April 27th through the 29th, it's the NFL draft in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So there is no off season.
There's no
in
off
sports.
season. But can you imagine if Kansas City wins the Super Bowl and then they get to turn around and host the NFL draft? Oh boy, that's going to be pretty crazy if that happens.
Yep.
So
that's everything I've got for this week. Anything else before we call this a show?
No, other than if I'm not on the podcast by this time next week, somebody come looking for me because I could have gone mad from editing the videos we got coming up.
You've got a couple of them in the can that you got.
Oh my gosh! Between that and my movie stuff I got coming up, I'm buried in videos right now. I even got one for my fantasy league I still haven't done because I've just been so busy. I'm on day. What was today? Today was number 17, 18. I've lost track. Straight days working, so I'm plumb tuckered out. I think I finally get a day off this weekend, so I'm gonna use it to recuperate and probably finish videos.
Okay.
I'm gonna go insane.
All right, well, that's all the time we've got for this week. If you learned something during this podcast about the incredible amount of diversity that exists in the world of football,
or Adam's mental health,
then we've done our job. Visit our website at theworldoffootball.com for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. Our email address is info@theworldoffootball.com.
Please go over to Facebook. Give us a like on our Facebook page. That is facebook.com/TWOF Kalamazoo. You can also follow our Twitter account, which is also at TWOF Kalamazoo. New episodes of this very podcast are posted on Tuesdays, as long as we don't screw up the recording process like last week, and are available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube, where you can search that wonderful platform for the World of Football Kalamazoo to find wonderful videos we've done, such as the Arena Football League returning and us giving our top 16 places that new teams could be forged or old teams could return. Then we have some XFL videos that people seem to be liking. We go through and declare our XFL loyalty, and we will be going to an XFL game at some point this season.
We've also are getting into reels and shorts.
Oh God!
So
yeah,
so look for
those. Are weird coming out of Randy's mouth, but yeah, he's liking this 1 minute format. He's got something cooking for everybody out there.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that.
Another thing for you to edit once I get it done.
Yeah. More work for me. So that's if you want, makes it easy. Go to youtube.com/@theworldoffootball. That's right. They got like a new handle system.
Yeah, they call it a handle.
You can also find us on Amazon Music. So simply ask your Siri or Alexa device to, quote, play the World of Football podcast. Feel free to subscribe, rate, review, give us a like, leave us a comment on every single platform we got that you choose to interact with us with. And know that we appreciate you coming because we enjoy having the football conversation with everybody. That's why when we get those YouTube comments, whether it's me or him, we try to respond to every comment as we can.
We've been getting a lot of comments on
lots of comments. I haven't even looked the last few hours. If we've gotten
mostly positive.
Yeah, a lot of good positive. Hey, the World of Football is a lot of positivity, and
yes.
I'm digging the vibe. We're been
out
able
here to have fun. We're trying to inform people and keep you up to date on what's going on. We're not trying to step on anybody's toes. But yeah, we love to know that you're out there and that you're liking what we're doing.
And hey, we can be fans of different locations and teams and whatnot. Sure. It's been great seeing people declaring their loyalty for different teams out there. XFL, Arena Football. It's been great. A lot of different stuff that popped up in those comments, and we enjoy interacting with everybody out there. So thank you, and please come be a part of the football conversation, however you choose to do it.
And remember, folks, some people may love football more than we do, but nobody, and I mean nobody, loves more football than we do. Until next time, when we'll try and do a better job, I'm Randy Snow.
Oh, please, it's impossible to do better than we did this week. I'm Adam Snow.
I beg to differ. We'll see you all next week.